What's up, guys? How's it going? I am Is There No One Else? Bringing you it's going to be a very quick and painless build video. This is what I'm running on my Stamina Nightblade. After extensive testing, I decided to stick at what I had. Last patch, we're going to keep it the exact same, but I do have some alternatives for you guys that are just as good, just slightly nuanced, so let's dive into it. We are running Master's Bow on the back bar. It's powered. Powered got buffed this patch. This increased our healing. Very useful. 301 weapon damage against targets affected by our poison arrow abilities. Poison injection is just amazing for a bow and 2H Nightblade in general. It does a bunch of damage, and this works very well with it. So if you guys can do DSA, get in there and get yourself a Master's Bow. Very useful. Maelstrom's Maul on the front bar. I'm running it sharpened. I deleted my Nirnhone Maul like a couple months ago because I didn't think I'd ever use it, and then they buffed it. I think in open world PvP, when you're just killing random people, I would prefer a Nirnhone Maul over sharpened, just because you're just trying to kill as many people as possible. Picking and choosing your targets, picking the weakest ones first, and then focusing them down. This is going to work better against more people. Like, more people are Templars. Sharpen works very well against them. If you have one, I guess Sharpen's technically better, but I think for open world, I think Nirnhone is. I would probably run Nirnhone if you have a choice. Double drain health poisons. We're also running 5 heavy shackle breaker guys. This is a 5 heavy 2 medium set. Heavy's still just amazing. Nightblades lack healing. I like the increased resistances. I like the increased healing received. We don't really lose much damage off of running heavy armor, and so you could still get good damage in heavy armor, but on top of that, you're not going to get nuked by one soul assault. You're not going to die in 2 seconds due to a Destro ulti. You're not going to have one person dragon leap you and then somebody hits you with a radiant and you die in like 2 seconds. I just prefer the heavy. Like, with how I play outnumbered, I like this a little bit more. I'm running Dubious Camera and Throne, so I don't get magic or recovery with how I build this. So the Constitution passive on top of the Stamina sustain I get from a Magicka sustain I get from Shackle Breaker really allows me to be able to cloak quite a bit more. So that's why Shackle Breaker is just so good. 5 heavy impen, and then we're running 5 Bone Pirates. 2 on the body, 3 jewelry, all weapon damage and chance. This is just still one of the best stamina sets in the game. It's not even really close. These are our stats on our back bar: 40,000 stamina, 2,300 stamina recovery, 12,340 magicka, and then it's going to be around 22,000 health in PvP. Our resistances are 15,000 unbuffed. When you're a Nightblade and you're wearing heavy armor and you're fighting, which anytime you cloak, fear, hit, surprise attack, your spell resistances will be capped for, I think it's 8 or 10 seconds. So literally when you're fighting, our resistances are going to be 20,000 for this build. So it makes us a lot more tanky than the average Nightblade. We are running the Serpent Mundus Stone. We're running Dubious Camera and Throne. As far as our skills go, on the back bar: Shuffle, Relentless Focus, Shadowy Disguise, Poison Injection, Resolving Vigor, and Ballista. Ballista is going to be for taking out targets that we can't take out with our end cap when we need more pressure. So Magicka DKs, Magicka Templars in general, and sometimes the good Magicka Sorks. Good Magicka Sorks that can keep their wards up. This will give you enough pressure. You apply this, you ambush in, you fear, and their wards go down, and then you take them out in like 2 moves. If they don't CC break right away, they're dead. This just hits really hard. On the front bar, we are running Incapacitating Strike. This is just one of the strongest ultimates in the game. It does a shit ton of damage. It stuns and knocks the person down. You do 20% more damage for 6 seconds after you hit them. It also gives them Major Defile, so it reduces their healing. There's a lot of bad Templars out there that don't always purify, so this comes in handy. Surprise attack, bread and butter, spammable DPS. We're also running Mass Hysteria, Rally, Ambush, Reverse Slice. Typical stuff. As far as the CP goes, nothing special in here. 44 into Warlord, 64 Mooncalf, 32 into Tenacity. We will be doing heavy attacks in general with this build. We can stay in front of people. We can stand toe-to-toe with most builds, and, like when you're 1vxing, you'll have enough resistances to where you'll be able to do full heavy attacks, so you'll be able to stand your ground a little bit more. 19 Befoul, 61 into Tumbling, 19 to Bless to increase our healing, 61 Master at Arms to increase our direct damage, 8 Physical Weapon Expert, 64 Mighty, 5 Pearson, 48 Precise Strikes, 23 into Thaumaturge, 48 Ironclad, 20 into Resistant, 49 Hardy, 49 Ellie Defender, 22 into Thick Skin, and 32 into Quick Recovery. So that's the gear. Now, what I tested for you guys this patch, I went back to Hunting's Rage, tested that a little bit, looked at the damage. Damage is slightly better. I did like the increased Magicka, though, that Shacklebreaker gives, and I really like that slight bonus to Magicka recovery is super helpful for this build. You get an extra cloak off, you get an extra fear off, it just boosts your survivability so much to where the extra damage from Hunting's wasn't worth it for me. I also did a little theory crafting with like Twiceborn Star and Hulking Draugr, and the damage was the same, basically. Like sustain was the same, damage was the same, and so I'm not going to craft a whole new set just to have the exact same stats. It wasn't better, it was the same. So gonna stick with this. I already had this, I have gold enchants. It's very useful. Versatility is amazing. Being able to cloak as much as we can. Fully buffed with a tripod, we are looking at the CP tree. We have 2732 stamina recovery. We have 39,000 stamina. We have 2,900 weapon damage. Keep in mind, we are running a Master's Bow, so we're getting 300 weapon damage off of that as well. Critical resistance is good. 20,000 resistance is fully buffed. 861 Magicka recovery with the Constitution passive on top of that. So we actually have pretty good Magicka recovery to where we'll be able to, do Nightblade things. Now, if you guys don't have these weapons, the easy fix is, I'll show this to you right here. You go in and you craft yourself a Shacklebreaker Maul, Nirnhoner Sharpen, whichever you prefer, and then you craft yourself an infused Shacklebreaker Bow. This is what I was testing to see if it was better, and then you run one piece Domi House, one piece Kina, one piece Celine, one piece Veladreth. It doesn't really matter. If you want more damage, you run Kina or Veladreth. If you want the overall stats, you run Domi House. And so Domi House is going to boost our stamina. It's going to give us, boost our stamina, and then on top of that, it's going to give us more Magicka too, so we can cloak, fear, do all that fun Nightblade stuff. Yeah. So the damage really isn't different, and since we're running an infused bow on the back bar now, we are running weapon damage and spell damage enchant on the back bar. So when we hit with a light or a heavy attack, we're going to proc this, and for 5 seconds we're going to have 452 weapon or spell damage. Turns out to be around 520, fully buffed if I remember correctly. It's going to give us more damage than a Master's Bow, 300 versus 452. It's more damage. However, the duration's only 5 seconds compared to the duration of poison injection, which is 10 seconds, if I remember correctly. I'm going to look really quick, make sure I'm right. Yeah, 10 seconds. So it's half the duration for more damage. So it's not a big difference. The only thing I will say is the main reason I wanted to test it is, when you're in open world and you're trying to take out targets really quick, there's a bunch of people out there. You want to take out the weakest target first. What you do is, you cloak, you charge up your full heavy attack, ambush, in-cap, and that's your whole damage. That's one of the main burst combos for a Nightblade, is the heavy attack weapon swap into your ambush. And that allows you to just get so much more damage off so much more quickly. And so that allows you to finish people off really fast. But you have to stay on your back bar long enough in order for the weapon damage to proc, and so you basically just hit with a poison injection anyways. So by the time you release your poison injection, you see that little red thing? That's the weapon damage proc. So it's still good. It's not as good as I hoped it would be. I was hoping I was just going to be able to charge this up, weapon swap, and then I'd have it for 5 seconds in their face, and that this would absolutely be what I'd be running right now. But still very useful. You can run it the same way. You're going to get this damage against Templars, whereas the poison injection, they could purify it, and then the Templars aren't affected by my poison arrow. It's not that it's better or worse, it's just that it's different. You know, it has slightly different stats. The healing's going to be lower with this since we're running an infused bow compared to a powered master's bow. That was basically the main reason I'm running the masters. So, yeah, that's the alternative. If I find a better setup, guys, I'm going to keep looking. This is my main character. I really love the Stam Nightblade. But I just haven't found anything better right now for how I like to play. I like the survivability of heavy armor. You know, being able to sustain damage, to be able to be in there and stick around, you know, when you're 1vxing is useful. You're not going to get nuked as easily. Shacklebreaker is just an amazing 5-piece, so is Bone Pirates, and they synergize very well together. So, yeah, that's going to be the end of the build video. If you have any questions, please comment in the section below. You know, yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.